Here we are at Thornley's work site. Reminds me of a swamp I once charted in the Everglades. Only there, the gators had a thing for hooks. But that's another tale for another day. He eyes the waters, searching for the perfect spot to cast his line. Looks peaceful. Galactic Fisherman wades into the lake, water lapping around his boots until he reaches the small island. He fishes out a rod, running his fingers over the wood lovingly. "This here's me trustiest rod, Captain. Caught me more'n a few whoppers with it." He casts his line into the water, eyes fixed on the bobbing bobber. Now we wait. Patience is a fisherman's best chum. Aye, a bit overcast, but I'll take that over a squall any day. Gives the fish a bit of shade, you know. He takes a deep breath, the air heavy with the scent of wet earth and the distant hum of insects. Fields stretching out like a verdant blanket. The world's a peaceful place when you're holding a fishing rod. The bobber dances on the surface of the water, the line taut and watchful. Look there, Captain. A gaggle of geese gliding on the breeze. The birds, black specks against the sky, form a V, their feathers shimmering in the soft light. Sometimes I reckon they've got the right idea. No worries, no fish hooks, just the wind under their wings. His eyes stay fixed on the birds, a wistful glimmer in his gaze. Blast me to the bottom. I've hooked a goldie as big as me own foot. He reels in the line, the fish fighting against it fiercely. The creature is a shimmering mass of glinting scales, its tail slapping the surface of the water. Haven't seen a specimen like this in years. Golden scales, silver eyes, this one will make a fine story to tell over tankards of ale. Aye, a lot of strife these days. Kingdoms at war, monsters afoot. But let tell you, some of the best fishing is in those troubled lands. There's a lake in Mirkwood, for instance, murky waters, but the fish are fat as a hobbit's belly after elevenses. He sighs, his mind drifting to the far-flung fisheries of Middle-earth. The Shire is peaceful enough, but the true treasures are where danger lurks. The misty mountains, the Shadowlands. Quite the collection we've got here, eh, Captain? A minnow, a char, a bitterling, and don't forget that fine dace. His line jerks as another fish takes the bait. The rod bows under the strain, and Galactic Fisherman grins. Looks like there's more where that came from. These waters are teeming with life. Look at this place. The way the sun dapples the water, the way the air smells of wildflowers. He closes his eyes, taking in the scene. The sound of the breeze in the trees, the distant call of birds, the subtle ripples in the lake. There's a certain kind of peace that comes from standing on a bank with a line in the water. It's a peace that chases away all thought, all worry, all strife. Just you, your rod, and nature. Aye, next on the list is Carterland, south of Bree. I've been meaning to explore that area. Rumor has it there's a lake there where the fish leap higher than a hobbit, and the trout's so big they could swallow a goblin whole. Fish are thinning out. We may need to move on soon. He reels in his line, studying the diminishing catch. Seems we've exhausted this spot. Let's pack up and head to Carterland, eh, Captain? It's rumored to be richer fishing. Damn and blast, lost another one. He curses under his breath, tugging on the line. Blasted fish fought like a devil. Just goes to show even the best anglers lose a catch now and then. Well, here we are, a new body of water. And what's this? He takes notice of the unfinished building nearby, his eyes narrowing in curiosity. Looks like they were building something here. Good spot to set up camp, though. He scans the lake, assessing it for its potential. Let's give these waters a try. Could be another great fishing hole. Bears, eh? Where there's bears, there's usually fish. They're damn good at sniffing out a school of salmon. He eyes the young bears warily, sizing them up. They don't look too dangerous. Just adolescent cubs. Well now, look at that. A catfish. He reels in the heavy fish, its slimy body flopping against the shore. Not the prettiest catch, but it's a hearty fish. Good eating, that's for sure. He examines the catfish closer, nodding in satisfaction. And it's a good size, too. We could feed a small army with this one. By the stars, look at that clarity. He gazes out across the lake, his reflection shimmering on the surface. The trees on the horizon stand tall and proud, their image mirrored perfectly beneath the water. It's like a window to another world down there. You know, sometimes I wonder what secrets these lakes hold. What ancient creatures might lurk beneath the surface. Weeds, I swear they're a fisherman's worst enemy. More annoying than an army of orcs. He grumbles as he yanks another clump of weeds from his line, cursing under his breath. I can deal with a few weeds here and there, but it seems like this lake's full of them. He casts his line back into the water, hoping for a fish instead of another useless plant. I swear, these weeds are just trying to test my patience. I can handle a lot, but weeds, Bob blimey. Aye, a nice day, he exclaims. That'll make a fine addition to the trophy room. He gently pulls the daze from the water, admiring its shimmering scales. Beautiful creature, the daze. You don't find 'em just anywhere. Gotta head to some special places to land one. He carefully places the daze in a protective pouch, handling it with care. And the taxidermist is gonna have his work cut out for him with this one. A specimen like this deserves the finest treatment. Well, look at that, a char. And what a colorful one at that. He stares at the fish with wide eyes, admiring its iridescent scales. This ain't a common catch. Chars ain't found just anywhere. It's a pleasure to see one swimming about. We'll have to get this fella mounted as a trophy for sure. Well now, what's this? He muses, pulling the rusty dagger from the water. He inspects the blade, running a finger along the dull edge. A dagger, eh? Not the fish I was expecting. And rusty, too. Maybe someone was trying to hide their crimes here. He shakes his head, chuckling to himself. You never know what you'll find in these lakes. Fish, weeds, old rusty daggers. Just another day in the life of a fisherman. Aye, we've got a nice catch here, but some of 'em's too small for the cookpot. He eyes the assortment of fish in his basket, sifting through them with a practiced eye. We'll have to sell these off and keep only the ones big enough for a good meal. He sighs, lamenting the smaller fish. It's always a shame to let go of a fish, even if it's too small. But that's the way of things. You take what you need, and let the rest return to the water. Aye, we're running out of space here. Time to sell these fish and move on to the next spot. He checks his pockets for the gold he'd earned from his previous catches, then swings the bulging bag of fish onto his back. Let's head into town and see what fishmongers are paying for this haul. Maybe we'll even have enough for a pint or two at the pub. Damn, no one interested in fish here. Guess we ought to head back to Bree. He sighs, shouldering his bag of fish. Can't say I'm surprised. Most folk here ain't thinking about fishing. Still, we'll find a good buyer in Bree. They're always looking for fresh fish there. With a heavy load on his back, he sets off towards the town, whistling a cheerful tune. Well, let's get to work. He pulls out a few fish, selecting a dace and a catfish. He lays them on a flat cutting board, pulling out a sharp knife. Catfish and dace, solid fish for filleting. Not too difficult to work with, and they yield a fair amount of meat. He deftly removes the guts, scales, and bones, leaving behind glistening fillets. By the stars, look at that sight. He stops in his tracks, watching in awe as players shoot off fireworks high into the night sky. That's quite a spectacle, isn't it? Makes me wonder what they're celebrating. He gazes at the shimmering explosions, each one flaring brilliantly in the dark. Might as well take advantage of the festivities. There's bound to be hungry customers in there. He swings the bag of fillets over his shoulder, making his way to the tavern. With all that ruckus outside, people are gonna be thirsting. And nothing goes better with ale than a plate of freshly caught fish. Ah, now this is what I call relaxation. He settles into a comfortable chair by the fireplace, stretching out his legs and sighing contentedly. The warmth of the crackling flames chases away the chill of the night and illuminates his weary face. Nothing like a good fireplace after a long day of fishing. It's good to rest the old bones and let the fire's light soothe the soul.